Hello and welcome to Y-PAC Check-ins. I'm Sean Davido, and today we are talking to Belen Lopez, and Belen is the Public Education Coordinator for SunComm, and SunComm is Yakima County's 911 call center. Thank you for joining me today, Belen.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Belen is also a 911 call taker, and it's a very busy time of year. We're going to talk about 4th of July specifically here in just a few minutes, but I want to make sure everybody knows who does SunComm serve? What are the agencies that SunComm provides 911 services for?
SunComm 911 answers 911 calls for the entire Yakima County, and we are broken down in jurisdictions. So you have Sheriff's Office, City of Sunnyside, City of Toppenish, Grandview, State Patrol, as well as Yakima Nation. And we also have our Fire District 5, who serves our Lower Valley Medical. They also dispatch our Upper County as well.
Wonderful. Now, like we were talking about, it's a busy time of year, and it's the 4th of July. We want to specifically talk about 4th of July fireworks and call volumes. Let's talk about how many calls come into the call center at that time of the year, just 4th of July.
It is our busiest time of the year. We can range anywhere from 1,200 to 1,600 calls, and that's from midnight to 11:59 p.m.
Now, how do you prioritize the calls? When somebody calls in, you're getting so many calls at one time. How do you make a decision on where to send a firefighter?
So like our other 911 calls, we prioritize based off of emergencies. Is it a true emergency? Is somebody hurt? Is law enforcement needed? So it's the same concept with 4th of July. A lot of those 911 calls that we get during 4th of July are, my neighbors are shooting off fireworks. We know it's 4th of July. We tend to ask questions, well, is there a fire started? Is somebody hurt as a result of them shooting off fireworks? If the answer is no, we take the information and we let you go. We try to get through those as quickly as we can so that we can free up the lines for the true emergencies. So people who need law enforcement for domestic situations or grandparents who are having heart attacks, those are the lines that we want open.
So real emergencies, real medical emergencies are things that you need to call in for. Real fires, if there is something on fire, you definitely want to call 911, right?
Absolutely. And we're also competing with fire season. We are in fire season. So, we hope and pray that nobody's going to start a fire, nobody's house is going to catch on fire, but we're also hoping that one dry field isn't going to catch on fire and then it's going to spread. And then we're going to have a repeat of what seems to be, every summer where part of the county is burning down.
And we're maybe lucky this year. It's been a little wetter, at least to this point. That tends to cause growth, though, I know, and so it can even make the situation worse, I know, for our firefighters. Let's talk about what are the most important things people need to remember. If they call 911 and they get an operator like you on the line, what do people need to remember?
So number one, is it a true emergency or is it non-emergency? Is it life-threatening? Is it your property is, in the danger zone of being damaged? Think of it in those terms. If it's something about as a simple question about are fireworks legal, shouldn't call me for that. But should you meet any of those other criteria where you do need a firefighter, a medic, or an officer, call 911. First question I'm going to ask you is, what's your address? I need to know where you are. Whether or not if you're at home, a relative, or even at the park, just know where you are. That way so we can get the call entered for dispatch as quickly as we can so that we can get the response to you.
Now, non-emergencies, in situations that aren't an emergency, and people do need help. They do need a officer at some point maybe, or just some help. What numbers should they call? How should people get a hold of that information?
Non-emergencies, we deal with those on a daily basis. Sometimes people just don't know the resources. They don't know how to go about to get that information. So the best that we can refer is based on where you live. So if you're in the city limits of Yakima, you're calling Yakima Police Department, their local number. If you're out in the county, Sheriff's Office in the city limits of Sunnyside or Toppenish, Sunnyside Police, and so forth. If you don't have a smartphone, internet, you can also 411 to get those numbers.
Perfect. Now we want to make sure everybody knows where they can find more information on SunComm. Where can people go to find information about SunComm?
SunComm, we actually have our own webpage, SunComm 911 Communications. We also have a Facebook page where we're always updating it. So like any major emergencies that, we may need the public to avoid, we'll post that update on our Facebook page, and we'll kind of give you the details of what area, what it's kind of involving. We don't give the details, but we do ask that, you stay away from the area.
Perfect. So as long as people are aware, especially in times like this when there is high call volumes, just remember what is an emergency, and we want to keep those lines clear for real emergencies, right?
Yes, and there will be times, because it is the busiest time of the year for us, where we are going to have to put people on hold. We're going to ask, is this an emergency? If you tell me no, and I have 5 other lines ringing, then I'm going to put you on hold. It's not that I'm hanging up on you. It's just that you're going to be put on hold for a little while. I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. That's me prioritizing what's coming through on the other lines.
And so people need to be patient because there's a lot going on. And just to even consider 1,500 calls a day, just if you did that math, that's a lot of calls coming in.
It is. And right now it just depends on staffing too. Do we have the adequate staff to come in, and, can we have extra staffing? And sometimes the answer is no, because like everyone else, we dispatchers, a lot of us like to take time off in the summer. So that leaves us, shorthand by, 3, 4, sometimes at a time. So just be patient and, work with us and answer our questions. And of course, emotions do run high. It's not that we are pressing you for the information right away. It's just that we need to get it as quickly as we can so that we can figure out how to best help you.
Well, Belen, I want to thank you for taking the time to share SunComm's important work, especially on the 4th of July in this busy time. And I want to wish you a happy 4th of July and enjoy your holiday. I'm not sure if you'll be on the phones, and if you are, I want to make sure everybody thanks you for all that you do in that role.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And, we're just hoping that the public, they are safe, they are smart, have a good time, just do it, responsibly. Remember, fireworks are not legal in Yakima city limits. There's certain parts in our county where you are allowed to set off fireworks, but if you don't know, check before the holiday season, call your police department. They will let you know yes or no. Also, pet owners, those fur babies that you have, it's going to be loud. Do what you need to do to keep your pets safe, secured. We do get a lot of lost fur baby calls, and unfortunately, it's not an emergency. It's heartbreaking, but just do what you need to do to keep that loving fur animal member of your family safe as well.
Absolutely. Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
And happy 4th of July to everyone.
You too. Stay safe.